impact on this game. Ball security will come into play as both teams will have to deal with some very slippery conditions.
It's the Saints going up against the Giants.
The opening kick is straight ahead, so it's time to turn it over to my colleagues, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis with the call. Gentlemen.
Thank you, Larry. Coming to you from just off the New Jersey Turnpike in East Rutherford, we are just about set for football on EA Sports from MetLife Stadium. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the New Orleans Saints and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Two one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. The return man here, Dwayne Harris. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by Eli Manning, the Giants' all-time leader in passing yards and touchdowns in his 13th season now.
I've always loved his demeanor. He's able to maintain an evenness to his play. Didn't matter whether he threw 4 interceptions or 4 touchdown passes. You really couldn't tell. And I think that's one of the great things that he possesses and attracted the Giants to him. I know the former GM loved that, but he also loved how he could elevate his game in big moments.
Now a first carry here for Shane Vereen. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll run again with Vereen. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. In on the tackle, Alex Okafor. And now this offensive unit, we get a look at their starters. They put up good numbers last week, looking to carry that forward.
Yeah, Brandon, they saw the numbers from last week. They expect to at least replicate them. They think that they can put up bigger numbers this week. They are a confident bunch.
They'll run here with Vereen. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask. 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes your hand gets into the wrong place.
They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
On the run, here's Vereen. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. And now a look at the Saints starting defense.
Kenny Vaccaro is an excellent player. Can cover in the slot, but his best attributes, tackling people and rushing the quarterback.
So 3rd and 20, defense in the nickel.
Surprised they didn't go with 6 DBs, the dime look.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him with his first sack of 2016.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
This is taken at the 15. And he's going to be out of bounds right at the 40. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback in his 16th season now. 11th as a New Orleans Saint, Drew Brees.
And he has to hold just about every Saints passing record, doesn't he? I mean, I can't imagine someone else has one.
No, in some cases, probably doubling or tripling the man closest to him.
Yeah, he's been absolutely amazing there. And what I love about him is how much he actually loves the game of football. Does everything that you have to do and then some in terms of preparation, staying with it in the game. I think he actually likes going to meetings. That's how much he loves the game, and he's always ready to play. He might actually play until he's 50.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Now Breeze on the bootleg. Rolling to his right. It's complete. Flainer, right side. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like he did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
But how many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket, doesn't matter whether they go left or right, the defense loses its leverage, right? There's a little chaos back there, and receivers come open. Great discipline on that play. They didn't let that happen and held it to no gain. There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover, and wow, now we've got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
They'll run. It's Vereen. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. And he stopped immediately there. It's a loss. Of a yard there, and now second down.
And the defensive line controls the offensive front the way we just saw there. It doesn't allow any of the offensive linemen to leak downfield and get to the linebackers and block them on the second level. You end up with the type of play we just saw. Linebackers didn't have to fight anyone off, didn't have to knock anyone to the side, didn't have to elude anyone trying to block them. They just saw the play, ran to the ball, and finished things off.
And we look now at the defense for the Giants.
Olivier Vernon is a defensive end that combines terrific run-stopping ability with a quick first step to the passer.
So a second down incompletion now brings up third down. Now Breeze on third down. Looking for Snead, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
And New York set to take the field. And a big no-no last time. A safety to make this score 2-0 where we stand now. So see if they can atone for that mistake.
You give up points. But on the flip side, the positive side, after you punted the ball away or kicked it away,
defense held.
Defense held for you, so there's a little bit of relief there. Now they know they can get back out on the field, run their offense, and try not to put their defense in a bad spot again.
Back to the air on second down. It's Manning. And that's complete to the right side. It's Marshall. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. He was a second-round pick. Many scouts thought he could have gone higher than that.
And I was one of them. Even though I don't scout for any particular team, I had a first-round grade on him. And frankly, I'm surprised he lasted to the second round. They got a steal with this player.
Really, it's a solid draft class from a year ago. They were able to address some key weak spots on their team and fill in some holes.
And they were able to identify the players they wanted early in the process. Got a little bit of luck as some guys may have fallen to them. But for the most part, knew their philosophy and stuck to it.
17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. First down coming there on the intermediate passing play. That's been a point of emphasis, they told us in practice, using those medium routes to keep the defense off balance.
And it wasn't just them telling us. We got to watch them practice it and work on it because they've been trying to fine-tune it and get it right before this game. And I think they have to be happy with the result.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, in that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Manning to throw on second down. And Tammy with it over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And this is complete. It's Marshall. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Giants have taken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase it.
The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. Oh, what a move. First carry for Adrian Peterson. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And a big face mask penalty here, 15 yards.
You never want to get your hands up in the face mask area because your fingers can get tangled up there, and that can hurt you as a player.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
And there's a nice completion to Coby Fleener, and no one can be happier than Drew Brees.
Yeah, he had Jimmy Graham for all those years, Ben Watson last year, and now coming south from Indianapolis, Fleener. First down, here's a run with Peterson. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit. But his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well conceived, well designed, and even better executed. In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the 1st down.
They run again on 1st down. Peterson. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a 1st down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Breeze. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And eventually brought down, but it's near the 5 at the 6. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now, the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Breeze to throw on 2nd down. This will be caught at about the 6. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Coby Fleener, his first touchdown in a Saints uniform. And once again, the Saints are back out in front. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard. Now, back in my old days, before college, I played a little bit of offense. I used to love to pitch the ball to my backs. How about that pitch right on that play?
Yeah, going right. People run to the right more than to the left, don't they, in real life and in video games?
That is true. A lot of offenses constructed to run to the right side of the line of scrimmage. Those big tackles, usually your power blockers.
Yeah, that right there will set them back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
To throw, it's Manning. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he showcased the spin, but couldn't do much else as he's wrangled down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space.
And he's hit and taken down. Eli sacked. A.J. Klein. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And it looks like this will likely be the last play before we hit the 2-minute warning.
Let's see if they can sneak one more good play in before the 2-minute signal.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Larry Ridley will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and... set as we resume play. Here's Brad Wing now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. Just a 25-yard punt. Not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Then confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver?
That's caught inside the 20. And that one results in 35 yards.
So let's go ahead and add to the difficulties of guys trying to cover receivers. They got to deal with speed, shiftiness, all of that stuff. But how about when they have height and length and deep downfield? You throw the ball up in the air. That's how they uncover at the end of a route, by being able to go up over the top and make a big catch.
And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone, sometimes you're throwing it
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now, Breeze again. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Their dangerous wide receiver with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead.
And that lead is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played with the analytics, there's going to be a lot more of going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be. And I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other, and just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything to erase the good feeling they have right now by getting this late score in the half.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this will be a touchback. And as we saw in week 1, the new rule, this one coming out to the 25-yard line. We get a look at the Saints defense as they file into position. They're just hoping for more of the same. Last time they forced the punt that led to a score.
They flipped the field, essentially. And that's what you want to do as a defense. Make sure that you put your offense in a great position to run their offense and put the ball in the end zone. And that's exactly what they accomplished.
They accomplished that last time. What will they accomplish this go-around? And the offense will be looking to get at least some of this yardage back here at 2nd and 12. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Giants are behind right now, but the home crowd should give them a boost. The Saints have come in and look good as the road team, and will just keep trying to play hard and maintain the lead going forward. All right, let's roll those moving pictures. After the pitch, offense comes out now. Manning's going to find his mark, and this 5-play drive goes for a touchdown. Giants up now by 5. Saints take it at the 6. Fleener's going to catch the screen pass, and he capped off the long drive with the TD. Saints go up by 1. Late in the second, Thomas is going to make the catch deep downfield, and he ends up at the 19-yard line before he stopped on the play. Still late stages of the second. Breeze got the completion out of the gun, and this 5-play drive goes for a touchdown. That takes the lead up to 7.
Thank you, LR. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. And while that play was unsuccessful to start the second half, I'm not sure that you just totally abandon what you do running the football. Maybe you make some adjustments in your run game and do things a little bit differently, but that doesn't necessarily mean you just go to the pass and do nothing else.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. And that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage. That's going to frustrate the coaching staff a little bit as they dialed up the deep shot, but they weren't on the same page on that play. Heck, I don't think they were in the same book. I think he thought he was going to do something else, ends up throwing it over the sidelines. Well incomplete.
Oh, shifty.
Whoa.
Well, nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape, 1st and 10. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively, and now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
On second down, here's Manning. And now the ball comes out. Manning lost it. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Well, they knocked that one free from Eli Manning, and he's not a guy who's usually fumble-prone, usually has a pretty good sense about getting rid of the football. But in this case, they managed to knock it out of his hands.
Yeah, stat to your point, I was looking back yesterday. 3 seasons of 10-plus fumbles, but other than that, single digits. He usually takes pretty good care of the ball. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Breeze will try again on second down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. Adrian Peterson, his first touchdown of the new season. And a forced fumble defensively leads to 6 points for the Saints. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Here's Harris to return it. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now out come the Giants. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set. 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get him
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. He was able to pick up 6 yards there, so that leaves him with a 3rd and 13.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
To throw is Manning. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
3rd down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They'll come out in the pistol. Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
It's a gain of 4, and it gets him the 1st.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the 1st down.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
There's so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw on that pickup.
So we've got a 2nd and 5. Now they'll throw with Breeze. And he's got it over the middle. Fleener. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
That throw has to be a quarterback's dream, doesn't it? Big tight end, curling in the middle of the field, so it's great sight lines for him. And when they show their numbers back to the quarterback, when they sit down right there, that should be pitch and catch.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They come up with one back. That's Ingram. And he'll get it up the middle. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. The play fake to Ingram. Now it's Breeze. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And they pick up a 1st down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position. Let's just go ahead and go back through that play with his eyes, because he's got to read his keys. Runner pass right off the top. You're probably going to read an offensive lineman to see if he sets up in pass protection or if he fires out for a running play. The next thing is you're going to check and see what the back's going to do, and if he ends up with the football, okay, now you got to...
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. They'll send Beckham alone to the left side. Manning will try again on second down. That is incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard, and it's third down.
When everything is in sync on defense, that means everyone's communicating really well, and sometimes it's nonverbal. They just know that when a receiver's in one spot, this person may have him, and he's in another spot, the next defender may have him. And they've squeezed the passing lanes down to where it's so difficult to find an open area to deliver the football. They've made it tough on them all game long.
It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a first down. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Throwing on first down is Manning. Wide open receiver complete. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on. It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Throws left side, complete to Brandon Marshall. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Manning going to try and throw on third down. It's caught. Shepard. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down. We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the...
And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Shane Vereen, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Giants able to get this back within a touchdown. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
A 10-play drive that time, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Giants defense getting ready to go here. And the interception the last time they were out there ended up leading to a touchdown.
So the only thing they didn't get really was the pick 6, because that's what everyone wants. Take it immediately to the end zone, but their offense capitalized on the takeaway and turned it into the 6 points they were looking for.
Set them up pretty, got the touchdown. Now they're back out there defensively. Trying to lay one up deep. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
This is Shepard on the catch, and that one results in 35 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place, but what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Encroachment, defense. Still first down.
Here's Vereen. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Call it a gain of a couple there as it'll leave him with a 2nd and just 3.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now Manning throwing on 2nd down. And he will take it all in for a Giant touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see when they decide to do a play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
Here's Breeze to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete.
Holding, offense.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
Tie game here. Time starting to run down. The defense really needs to try and keep this game tied, see if they can get the ball back for the offense. Breeze now. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. Short throw, pick six right there, those linebackers. They love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And here's Lewis. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And leading here late, so a chance for the defense to really close out this game if they can halt the offense. Now Breeze to try again after the pick six. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Kobe Flainer, the tight end, his intended target. And that'll bring up second down.
Eli Apple was a top 10 pick in the 2016 draft. And one of the reasons, his ability to get better. Because remember, he's a young guy. And they just figured he could go ahead and grow. A redshirt sophomore when he came out.
And he lost the football. Left side and caught by Flainer. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Giants touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Throwing on first down is Breeze. Now Breeze lost the football. And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Breeze to throw on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. And it's third down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. On third and long, it's Breeze. He's going to let it fly. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Thomas, the lone receiver, left.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Landon Collins. And the return will stop right around the 25. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Second down, 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. And, well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. This to make it a 3-score game late. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the